Yeah, I was trying to go for the John Wick look, but I didn't have a black jacket. What you gonna do? Sue me?
It's the one and only Digo Double G. Snoop Dogg. You know I'm mobbing with the D.R.E. Yeah.
We completely sure that Keanu Reeves is not a vampire. The man was 51 when he shot this movie. 51. Meanwhile, yours truly can't walk up 2 flights of stairs without wheezing and coughing like I have one lung or something. FML. John Wick Chapter 2 takes us once again into the seedy underbelly of the assassin network we were introduced to in the first movie. And Keanu Reeves is back as the titular assassin, or as he is known in the film, Baba Yaga, the boogeyman. And without getting too spoilery, Chapter 2 picks up just a short while after the first film and shows us John's retrieval of his beloved car. And as these things go, it doesn't really go as planned, and soon John finds himself having to punch, kick, shoot, stab, drive, and gun-fu his way out of another bounty that's put on his head. And yeah, I know that synopsis is very vague. I did that intentionally because I think that there's a lot to this film that the trailers and the promotional materials don't reveal and that you need to experience for yourself. You need to trust me when I say that there is more to this film than initially meets the eye. The film really played with my expectations of it as well. So after this kick-ass action-packed opening scene, the movie starts playing out a lot like the first movie, and I was thinking, wait, they're not doing a Hangover 2 here, right? Please tell me you're not doing that. This can't be this exact same movie as the first one. But then the film flips the expectations on its head and pulls off a completely insane sequel that I think is superior to the first one. And where John Wick Chapter 2 really excels is in the fact that it knows what kind of movie it is and it embraces it fully. It never takes itself too seriously. It's a big budget action movie and it delivers on that premise twofold. Everybody has fun in their roles. Ian McShane is back with a little more to do this time. Common plays an assassin and he has some really fun scenes with Keanu Reeves. Ruby Rose is in this, and especially Lawrence Fishburne. He just gobbles up every scene he's in.
Somebody please get this man a gun.
And he really has some great chemistry with Keanu Reeves when the both of them interact. And what's this, like the third film with Ruby Rose in it? What's going on here? Let's see, there was Triple X, Resident Evil, the final chapter. And this. Here she plays a mute assassin that could only communicate through sign language, and it's definitely her at her best. If I have to see Ruby Rose in 10 movies for the whole year, this is the Ruby Rose I want to see. Visually, the film plays to its neo-noir influences. The lights in the opening scene alone really evoke this kind of Blade Runner feel, and I don't know if it was just me, but I got a kind of Akira vibe from it too. Maybe it was just the motorbike and the neon lights, but either way, this film is just a feast for your eyes. It just makes very interesting use of light and color and shadow and reflection and the way it interacts with the characters and the environments. And the scenes also have a lot of imagery and symbolism to them. There are even a couple of shots that I would go so far to say are artsy and painting like. But you don't care about that, right? Them action scenes though. Well, I am happy to report that this is definitely an action movie fan's wet dream. Because the movie doesn't opt for that shaky cam thing that a lot of action directors find themselves doing these days in modern action movies. And the hand-to-hand combat, while not on the same level as a movie like The Raid or its sequel, is definitely well executed. The punches and kicks and headshots all feel like they are actually happening. It feels real and gritty. Yeah, there were more than a few times during this movie that I let out an audible while I was watching it. The film is very flashy and stylized throughout, and it plays to those strengths. It even brings back the stylized subtitles that they introduced in the first part. John Wick Chapter 2 is a bit self-aware as well. The dialogue is littered with loaded words and double entendres. Yeah, it gives a whole new meaning to the term professional courtesy. And I really like it when a sequel reincorporates something very seemingly small from the first movie. And with John Wick as the pencil thing.
I once saw him kill 3 men in a bar with a pencil. With a pencil.
They actually bring up the story again in this movie, and then they take it a step further later on. I am not going to spoil it, but let's just say it's tied with The Dark Knight for my favorite scene starring a pencil. And because John Wick is R-rated, I give it a slight edge. But little additions like this really help to flesh out the world that the film takes place in. Because I don't know about you, but during the first film, I was questioning how much of these stories we were hearing about John Wick were actually true, and how many were just attributed to him as he became a legend over time. But because this film is way more intense and actually explores John's character and digs a little bit deeper into who he is, we actually get to see these things happen, and then it clicks and we're like, ah, so those things were mostly true, and these guys are idiots for trying to kill John Wick. But it's not just a mindless action movie with just action all the time. The movie is actually genuinely funny as well. A good few moments well had everybody in the cinema cracking up, especially John's 2 encounters with Common's character Cassian, especially the second one. That was just real funny. And it's interesting to see how much the film reveals about the assassin world without getting too exposition-y. That's not a word, is it? That's my word. Okay, I know I'm hyping up the movie to like these real high degrees, but I don't think it was a perfect movie. My biggest complaint about John Wick 2 is that it doesn't have the building to the crescendo like the first movie, that momentum. Chapter 2 kind of feels like it starts off with an epilogue to the first movie, and then there are 2 separate movies after that. Because it kind of has to stop after the first act and then restart from the second act to kind of get the plot flowing again and the action moving. And also to help move things along, there are some plot conveniences that I noticed. But even though I mentioned those 2 things, it doesn't really take away from the experience of the film. Yeah, you don't see it now, and let everybody laugh at you. How the ass it is we had 2 Hitman movies, and John Wick is a better Hitman movie than both of them. Like seriously, shave Keanu hair bald, slap a barcode on the back there, put on a red tie, and that's the perfect Hitman movie right there. John Wick Chapter 2 is self-aware without getting too silly, and while I don't think this film would work as well without leading man Keanu Reeves, the supporting cast never dragged the film down. The cinematography and set design are executed with such style that you can really tell how much work went into ensuring that Chapter 2 was never boring to look at. And sure, the action is bone-crunchingly delicious and always there to break up the slower bits. But the movie also takes the time to flesh out the assassin world that was introduced in the first movie, which is great. So, I give this one a watch it in dread. As always, don't forget to whine on that like button and throw some waste on the share button too, or he'll kill you. He'll kill you all. If you've already seen John Wick Chapter 2, leave a comment down below telling me whether you thought it was better than the first one or not. And remember, I'm not a film critic, but I can definitely rock a review. See you at the cinema.